If you've spent any time in the Amazon KDP space, you've probably come across both low content and medium content books. And at some point, you might have wondered which one is actually worth your time, because time is the thing that nobody talks enough about in this conversation. Everyone wants to know which one makes more money, but the real question is which one makes more money according to the effort that you're putting in. That's what we're getting into today. And I'm going to show you real books on Amazon with real estimated earnings, so you're not just taking my word for it. Now, if you are new here, I'm Caroline. I'm a self-publisher who has been creating and selling books on Amazon for over 7 years, and on this channel I show you how to do the same. Low content books are exactly what they sound like. They're books with very little written content inside, things like lined journals, notebooks, planners, habit trackers, logbooks, guest books, password books. The interior of these books are either completely blank, lined, dotted, or uses a simple repeating template inside. You're not writing anything, you're designing a cover, putting together a very basic interior, and publishing it on Amazon KDP. The appeal is obvious. They're very fast to make. A lined journal interior or a lined notebook interior takes very little time to put together. You can even get free templates from the internet, so you don't even have to make them yourself. And once you have a template you like, you can reuse it across dozens and dozens of books just by changing the cover and the niche. That's why so many people start here. Low barrier to entry, fast turnaround, and you can build up a series of books very, very quickly. Medium content books sit somewhere in the middle ground between a low content book, something like a journal or a notebook, and an actual written book, something like a fiction or a non-fiction novel. Medium content books have a lot more going on inside of them. Coloring books, activity books, puzzle books, kids' educational workbooks, recipe books, guided journals with prompts on every page, fitness planners with actual instructional content. There's real substance inside of them, but you're still not writing a novel or a non-fiction book. The key difference is time and skill. Medium content books take longer to create because there is actual content to develop, whether that's writing prompts or creating puzzles, educational exercises, or structured sections that guide the user through something. But that extra effort comes with advantages that we will get into shortly. Right, let's just go straight over to Amazon and take a look at what's actually selling in medium content books and in low content books, and what these books are actually earning. I'm going to pull up some real examples across both categories. They are all self-published books, and we'll run them through a book sales calculator, a sales estimator tool, so that we can see actual numbers. So let's start with some medium content books first. The first book that I've got here is a guided prompt journal for women. Let's take a look inside. The pages inside of this book and the prompts are all different. It's not just the same page repeated over and over and over again. So guided prompt journals have a lot more work gone into the prompts as opposed to a blank journal, or maybe something like a gratitude journal, which has the same page every single day. This book has a bestseller rank of 906, so selling very, very well. So with a bestseller rank of 906, it's making royalties around the $8,500 mark. The next medium content book is another guided prompt journal. This one is very giftable, and it also has guided prompts on each page, similar to the first guided prompt journal that we looked at, that the user fills out. And although they are medium content books, they are still very, very simple books. It's just a question with some space for the user to fill out their answer. But being medium content, there is a lot more work going into each prompt and each page. Now, this book has a bestseller rank of 163. So this self-publisher is making somewhere over $60,000 per month from this book. Now, this book is currently getting a nice boost because it is close to Mother's Day, and it is a big seller around gift-giving events and times of the year, but it is usually a big seller anyway, and it still makes tens of thousands of dollars each month. This month just seems to be extra good. The next medium content book we're going to look at is an educational workbook for kids. And this niche is such a fantastic one. It's evergreen. These books are always popular. They're very popular with multiple different customers. They're popular with parents, they're popular with teachers, and they're popular with homeschoolers. This one specifically is teaching sight words, which are very simple words for little kids who are just starting to learn how to read and write. This book has a bestseller rank of 921 and is making somewhere over $8,500 every month from this one book. And as I mentioned earlier, every book that we are looking at in this video is self-published. They are not published by any big publishing house or any big brand. The next one is also an educational workbook for kids, and this time it's teaching handwriting skills, and it's basically just letters, words, and phrases on a page that kids can trace over and practice writing. If a book helps a child learn something in a fun and engaging way, parents will buy that book without hesitation. This book has a bestseller rank of 537, and that means the royalties that this self-publisher makes is around $13,500 per month. Another medium content book we're going to look at is this puzzle book, which has a range of different puzzles inside. It's not targeting one specific puzzle like a word search or a crossword. These kinds of books, of course, can be pretty time consuming to make and pretty tricky to make unless you have the right tools to help you do it. And of course, every page is different, which classes it as a medium content book. If you are interested in puzzle books and creating them, getting into that niche, I have links down in the description box below this video to the puzzle tools that I like to use to create these kinds of books. This puzzle book has a bestseller rank of 4,385, and the royalties that it makes is over $4,000 per month for this self-publisher. And let's take a look at one more medium content book, this stress relief coloring book. Coloring books are one of the most popular niches on Amazon across all books, not just low and medium content books. They are super popular with Amazon's customers. And for obvious reasons, they fall into the medium content category. They definitely take a lot more time and effort to create compared to a simple low content book. This one has a bestseller rank of 1,038, and it's making just under $10,000 each month in royalties from just one book. Okay, let's switch over to low content books and let's compare the differences between the two types of books as well as the difference in sales and in royalties. The first low content book that we are going to look at is a password logbook. So the first thing you might notice is that because it is a low content book, there are no other images of the book in the listing, and there is no sample or look inside feature to see inside this book, which is a little bit of a pity because it would be nice to see what the actual pages look like, even though every page is going to be exactly the same. And that's why low content books don't get a look inside feature, because every page is the same. But we can go down to the reviews. Someone's taken a picture of inside the book, and that's as simple as it is. Every page has 3 different slots for you to write the website, what your username is, what your password is, so that you can remember it. And this book has a bestseller rank of 3,794 and is making around $1,000 per month in royalties. This book is priced pretty low. It's selling for $5.99. That might be one of the biggest differences you'll start to notice between low content and medium content books. The next low content book that we have is a notebook, a simple notebook with a funny cover. Now, this one does have the look inside or read sample feature, possibly maybe due to the fact that it was published quite a while ago. But this is why low content books don't have the look inside feature anymore, because every page is exactly the same and everyone knows what the inside of a notebook looks like. These can get really popular on Amazon, but it is just a lined notebook on the inside. It's priced at $7.99. It has a bestseller rank of 4,619, which means it's making around $1,500 to $1,700 per month. Pretty good for a plain and simple notebook, I would say. The next low content book we're looking at is a logbook. And this is just a generic logbook, meaning it is not to log anything specific. You can use it for whatever you want. Every page just has a lined table, exactly what it looks like on the cover. Every page inside looks like this, and it's just for the user to fill out and track whatever tickles their fancy. It has a bestseller rank of 30,492, and it's making monthly royalties of just under $1,000 per month. So I think that these sorts of royalties are pretty crazy for the amount of time it would have taken to create that kind of book, and for the fact that it doesn't really target anything at all specific. And one last low content book that we're going to look at is a blood pressure logbook. So this one is more specific and it is to track something specific, but the pages inside are all the same page repeated over and over. It is just a table for somebody to record their blood pressure each day. It has a bestseller rank of 6,000 $919, and it's making around $1,600 to $1,700 per month from this self-publisher. So what you can see pretty clearly from looking at these is that the pricing tells a big part of the story straight away. Low content books are generally sitting in that $5.99 to $7 or $8.99 range, and the medium content books are comfortably priced higher at least $9.99, and a lot of the time higher than that. That difference in price directly affects your royalties, and when you start running the numbers, it really does add up. And there is definitely a correlation to the effort put in to make certain kinds of books. Although medium content books take more time and effort to create, generally they are going to make more than low content books that can be created very quickly and easily because they are a lot less specific. And that means you can price them higher. Now, we are going to get even deeper into the money breakdown. But before we do get into that money breakdown, I want to talk quickly about something that I think is really, really important if you are building a self-publishing business and not just publishing a few books as a hobby. And that is having your own website. When you're publishing on Amazon, you're a guest on someone else's platform. And that is fine. I love Amazon. I will never stop publishing there. Amazon is enormous, and the traffic is real, and the potential there is huge, but you don't own any of it. You can't build an email list from your Amazon's listings. You can't retarget buyers. You can't position yourself as, let's say, a trusted educator if you are publishing something like educational workbooks, or a publishing brand by pointing to an Amazon author page. I put this off for way too long. I kept thinking it was complicated, it was expensive, and just something I would get around to eventually. And then I found Hosting Horizons, which is today's video sponsor, and I couldn't believe how easy it was. You literally describe what you want in plain English, and it builds a website for you. No coding, no hiring developers, no dragging and dropping for hours. There is a site that I want to show you as an example of exactly the kind of website a self-publisher could and should build. This website is called My Nerdy Teacher, and it is run by one person who is a teacher. She's built her own shop selling preschool and early childhood printables and worksheets directly on her own website. So let's say you are a self-publisher of medium content books like educational workbooks for kids. This is the kind of thing you'd want to build for your educational book brand. So you have your physical books on Amazon, which you can promote through your website. And then like this person has, she has a freebies library on the site that you can only access by signing up to her email list, which is a really, really smart way to grow an audience and a customer base while also giving people a reason to come back. Her website is her own platform, her own store, her own audience. And this is the model that I'm talking about. One person, one niche, building something that runs independently and keeps growing. I've been using Hosting Horizons to build websites just like this, and I want to show you how it works because it is super, super fast in a way that a lot of website builders aren't. What is great is that you get everything in one place. You're getting a website builder, domain, hosting, email, marketing tools, so you're not all over the place trying to do all different things in separate places. It's designed to be simple and fast, which makes it perfect for creators just like you and me trying to build a presence online. I'm going to show you exactly how it works. So if you want to create your own website alongside me right now, then you're going to want to click the link down in the description box below to go to Hosting Horizons. They have a few different plans to choose from, but you are going to select the starter plan because this gives you the ability to create an online store so that you can sell things like digital products and accept payments for those products directly on your website. To get the best pricing available, you can choose a 12-month plan. It's cheaper than paying month by month, and it does lock in the best monthly price, and it runs on AI credits. So you're basically using credits to generate and update your site as you go. It's very straightforward once you're inside. I do have a coupon code for you to use as well to get you the best price possible. So make sure to pop that in before you check out to get a 10% discount. Also, Hosting do have a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you can try it out totally risk-free. And one of the things that I like about the starter plan is that it includes a free domain name for the first year, which makes getting started so straightforward. So choose yourself an amazing domain name and we can get to building your website. It is actually so simple. You just start by describing what your brand is. So for something like this, you would enter a prompt describing an early childhood education brand that helps parents and teachers support your child's learning and development. Sells activity books and workbooks on Amazon, sells printable worksheets and classroom resources directly on the website, and has a warm, colorful, and trustworthy feel. So I've entered in my prompt, and AI will then build out a full website for you. So Horizons is actually an AI tool that you chat with. So you go back and forth with it until it understands exactly what you want it to build. So I asked it to suggest a brand name and to create a logo for me. So it's created Bright Minds Academy. And I'm going to confirm that I want it to go ahead with that. And it's just confirming what it's going to build for me based on my prompt. And it's going to start doing that now. So you can see it's writing all the code here in the background, building the website using code. I have no idea what this means. I have no coding experience, which is why I've never built a website before. And I'm assuming 99% of you out there also have no coding experience to build a website before. But that's the great thing. Now we don't need to know coding. We don't need to know web design or web development. Horizons does that all for us. We just have to tell it what we want it to do. And this isn't just a front-end website either. You can actually add things like user accounts, save data, and file uploads. So if you wanted parents or teachers to create an account, to be able to save their favorite resources or download a pack of printable worksheets directly from your website, you can build that straight in without needing anything complicated in the back end. And so once Horizons has built something according to our prompt, you can see that we get a homepage, we've got product sections, an about page, an online store, everything structured in a way that actually looks like a real brand. And from here, you can tweak it. If there is anything you want to adjust to make it exactly according to your brand style and your brand tone of voice, you just click this edit content button. You can edit any of the content. You can go in and add your physical books and link them to Amazon. Horizons has already done that for me because I asked it to. In the prompt, you can include downloadable products like printable work packs and classroom activity bundles, and most importantly, add an email sign up so that you are actually building an audience over time. You can connect payments directly to your website, which means whether someone is buying a digital download, like a bundle of worksheets, they're completing that purchase right there without being sent somewhere else. You can also upload your own images and use them as backgrounds, like what you can see here, which makes a huge difference for something like this. If you've got a clean, trustworthy, professional aesthetic, you can carry that all the way through your website so that it actually feels like your brand and not just a generic template. And so when you are happy with what Horizons has created for you, all you need to do is publish it and get it out there for the world to see. And how good does this website look? All I did was describe what I wanted. It built a working website. I made some tweaks just by chatting with the AI chat agent. It was live the same day. In fact, it was live within a few minutes. And what you're looking at is a real functional website with a shop and with a blog and an email sign up. And even though it does look like someone spent months making this, in reality, it just took a few minutes. It's perfect for a self-publishing brand. It's got a homepage that represents your brand, a shop where people can buy your resources directly, a blog where you can share additional free content that brings the right people in, and a way for them to stay connected. That's it. And it's all yours, not Amazon's. If you are serious about turning this into a real business, having your own space outside of Amazon makes a huge difference. The link to hosting Horizons is down in the description below this video. Right, let's get back to the money. With low content books, this business model is built on volume. So your royalty per sale is usually lower because your price point is lower. So the strategy is to have a lot of books out there working for you at the same time. Someone who's making good money from low content books typically has a large amount of books published. We are talking dozens and dozens, even hundreds and hundreds of books across multiple different niches. The upside is that you can build that catalog relatively quickly because the creation time per book is low, so you can publish consistently and steadily grow your passive income over time. The downside is that competition in the most popular low content niches is significant. Lined journals and basic planners are everywhere on Amazon, so standing out requires either very, very smart niche selection, strong cover design, or both. The other thing worth knowing is that individual books in this category can be quite unpredictable. Some will sell consistently for years, and others will barely make $1. It genuinely is a numbers game with low content books, and the self-publishers who do well with low content understand that going in. Medium content books give you more pricing power, and that changes the maths quite a bit. When you price a book at $9.99, $12.99, or even $14.99, or even higher than that, because there's genuine value inside of it, your royalty per sale is significantly better. You don't need to sell nearly as many copies to reach the same income level as a low content book publisher with a much bigger catalog. a much larger amount of books. There's also generally a lot less competition in medium content niches, particularly in really specific or say educational categories. A well-made kids activity book targeting a specific age group, a specific skill set has far fewer competitors than a generic lined notebook. And because they do take a lot more time and effort to create, a lot of self-publishers don't bother, which works in your favor if you are willing to put the work in. The trade-off is time. A solid medium content book takes longer, of course, to create than a lined journal. If you're doing it properly, you're developing real content, testing it, making sure it actually delivers on what it promises. You publish less frequently, but each book has more earning potential individually. So let's put this side by side. A low content book might earn you $2 to $3 in royalties per sale. A medium content book priced higher might earn you $4 to $7 per sale. If you sell 50 copies a month of a low content book, that's roughly $150. If you sell 50 copies a month of a medium content book, that's closer to $300 from a single book. But here's where it gets interesting. A low content publisher with 100 books, each selling modestly, is earning from 100 different income streams at once. A medium content publisher with 20 well-crafted books earning more per sale can hit a similar overall income with a fraction of the amount of books. Neither model is better, they're just different paths to the same destination. And the right one for you depends almost entirely on how you like to work and what you're willing to trade. Time per book versus volume of books. So which one should you actually choose? If you're just starting out and you want to learn how KDP works, you want to understand covers and get comfortable with the publishing process and start seeing some maybe small but early results without a huge time investment per book, then start with low content. It's a lower risk way to learn the platform and build momentum. If you are someone who does have some patience, enjoys creating something with more substance, and wants fewer books earning more per book, medium content is worth the extra effort. The competition is more manageable in the right niches and income per book is far better. And honestly, the self-publishers that I see doing really well long-term are doing both. They've got a solid catalog of low content books ticking along, and they're adding medium content books that punch above their weight in terms of earnings. That combination gives you the volume benefits of low content and the higher royalty benefits of medium content at the same time. So there it is, low content books versus medium content books with real Amazon numbers to back it up. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do that now so you don't miss out on what is coming next. And if you did enjoy this video, YouTube thinks that you might like these ones too. So please go check them out to learn more about self-publishing your own low and medium content books on Amazon. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.